he said he looked at me and he believed I was his dad, and I looked at him and I believed he was my son.
But I wanted to know, working together as parent and child, how did you guys build that relationship, especially considering that it all done in one shot?
It was one of those things where I think you can't explain it. Do you know what I mean? It's just a natural, organic thing that happens. We saw over 500 young boys. Do you know what I mean? We saw over 500 tapes, and he went through the elimination process, and then we did a workshop. We did a whole day's workshop, and I'm not just saying this, but the moment he walked into the room, we had a little tiny conversation. It was like, okay, right, from now on, I'm your dad, yeah, and you're my son, and he was like, okay, and he just looked at me with this look, and it was like, okay, and I was like, okay, and then we just went for it. And I think sometimes you can't explain these things, you can't intellectualize it, because if you intellectualize it, then it loses its magic. Do you know what I mean? And it just happened organically, and the process was just what it was. And we just immersed ourselves into those moments, and every time we got into it, we believed what we were doing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And he said he looked at me and he believed I was his dad, and I looked at him and I believed he was my son. And we just naturally had that ability to dive into this relationship that we'd created.